seven wonders of the world to the social distancing during the pandemic season, geometry is used. The word geometry comes from the Greek words geo, meaning the earth, and metry, meaning to measure. So, geometry appears to have originated from the need for measuring land. In every ancient civilizations, be it Egypt, Babylonia, China, India, Greece, or the Incas, geometry was studied in different forms. For example, in Egypt, the river Nile would overflow and wipe off the boundaries between the adjoining fields of different landowners. And after the flooding, the farmers used geometry to redraw these boundaries. Even for the construction of canals and the pyramids, the Egyptians used geometry. In ancient India, Harappa and Mohenjo-daro were two great cities that flourished in the Indus Valley civilization. The twin cities had similar layout and planning with parallel roads and underground drainage system. The ruins of these cities show that the civilization was technologically advanced with the knowledge of geometry. We have seen many practical examples of geometry in the ancient times. But what about the theoretical information regarding geometry? Were there any specific definitions, protocols, or manuals in geometry? Let's check it out. In ancient India, Sulba Sutras were the manuals of geometrical constructions. This was during the Vedic period where they used geometry to construct sacred fireplaces for performing Vedic rites. They had been given instructions as to how the shape and size should be. The Sri Yantra from the Atharva Veda consists of 9 interwoven isosceles triangles arranged in such a manner that they form 43 subsidiary triangles. Though the accurate geometric instructions were given for the constructions of altars and yantras, the principles behind them were not discussed. Interestingly, these instructions were passed on from one generation to the next, orally or through palm leaf messages, but geometry were considered and scripted in an unsymmetrical manner in different countries. While in civilizations of Babylonia, India and Rome, geometry had been a very practical oriented discipline. The Egyptians' geometry mainly consists of statements of results with no general rules of the procedures. In fact, Egyptians and Babylonians used geometry for only practical purposes and did very little to develop it as a symmetric science. But in civilization like Greece, the emphasis was on reasoning behind why certain constructions work. The Greeks were interested in establishing the truth of the statements they discovered using deductive reasoning. The Greek mathematician Thales is credited with giving the first known proof, the proof of the statement that a circle is bisected by its diameter. One of his pupils was Pythagoras, whom you have heard about. Pythagoras and his group discovered many geometric properties and developed the theory of geometry to a great extent. This process continued till 300 BCE. At that time, Euclid, a teacher of mathematics at Alexandria in Egypt, collected all the known work and arranged in his famous treatise called Elements. He divided the elements into 13 chapters, each called a book. These books influenced the whole world's understanding to geometry for generations to come. So, we can conclude that it is because of the great mathematician Euclid we can understand geometry from his Elements, which is divided as 13 books. So, we can even link the geometry of the ancient time to the present day.